INFJs and all those who are interested in this topic. Welcome to another Cliff's Items videos. You are all Cliffasaurs to me. You are all strong Cliffasaurs, ready to fight whatever the nature throws at you. Welcome to the Cliffasaur Cave. You can call it the Cliffasaur Cave because here's where all the Cliffasaurs unite, where we find our communal belonging in this strange world, where we can shelter ourselves from the bizarre and weirdo world that we live in. I really believe that the MBTI community, and this is going to be a little bit controversial to some of you, since a lot of you are here because of that, we tend to become too obsessed with our types, our letters. We grow attached to them, especially us INFJs who love this stuff so much and find it very important in understanding who we are, because not only do other people find us very difficult to understand, but we find it very difficult to understand ourselves. But that statement I just made kind of proves what I already am trying to say in this monologue. This self-fulfilling prophecy, okay, of thinking that we are reduced to our letters. We are reduced to our cognitive functions. We are reduced to our behaviors and our descriptors. And this is not true, okay? This is not very true. We are not defined by our letters. We are not defined by our descriptors, because more often than not, I find that there are things here and there that don't describe who I am. The very first time I read the INFJ description, I found that I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so understood. Like no other description has ever properly described who I am. And the more I grow older and the more that I can be honest with myself, I can say that, don't you love the sound of a car engine? Oh, I love it. The older that I get, I can tell that I can be honest with myself and see where I went wrong in my past, okay, with decisions, thoughts that I've had, decisions that I've made. And when I remember how I read the description, I remember thinking that there were some things that weren't true, okay, about how it's described. And like many others, we discovered our descriptions through sites that, you know, were a little basic, you know, like they weren't the best. They're not winning any awards for web design, that's for sure, right? It's like those freaking basic ass, like, you know, websites you would make when you were in fifth grade computer class. I don't know if you grew up in the early 2000s, then maybe, but yeah, that's how I remember it. And I remember reading those descriptions of what INFJs are, other types are, and be like, yeah, that describes me, yeah. And any little thing that didn't describe me, I was like, I'll ignore that. Yeah, this describe. Yeah, like I just go over the whole thing and just be like, oh yeah, this really describes me. Yeah, for sure. And I don't know how much of that really just stuck. You know, how much of that really just became a part of my identity. And I would like to say now that I want to really want to embrace the power of the mind. Okay? We really are our decisions. We really can manifest what we want in our reality. And anytime things get really good and you're like, oh man, I'm really manifesting things that I really want in this life, and they're really coming true, and it scares us. Which is like, it's a weird thing when things start to get really good, right? It scares us a little bit. It's like, I'm getting a little too good, right? Like sometimes you feel like I'm getting a little too good. Like things are too good right now. Like I'm healthy, I'm fit, I'm eating well, I'm dressing well, and things start to pick up a little bit. And that little voice in my head at least goes like, this doesn't feel right. I'm too used to feeling like shit, bruh. I'm used to you having no friends. I'm used to you having lonely times in your room. And I just want to say to myself, like, maybe I'm not that. Maybe I'm not what MBTI has described me to be. Maybe I am actually very social. Maybe I do love friends, because I do have times in my life where I really did enjoy having lots of friends. Right? It's not like my life I've always felt misunderstood. It just so happens that there are people that I connected better with in my past than I do now, for example. It's all about finding the right people. INFJs aren't meant to live and die alone. There are people in this world that you get really well with. So the idea of like not having any friends and not being understood by anybody, I think it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that's very unhealthy, if I have to be honest. So these coming months, I'm really deciding to embrace the power of the mind and to really be able to manifest. Maybe I am wanting to be connecting with people. Maybe I do want to feel the confidence that comes with having strong social support. Maybe I do want to have lots of friends. Maybe I do want to go to lots of places with lots of people. And if I try it and it feels absolutely terrible, then I have my answer. Maybe it wasn't true. Maybe I am reduced to what my descriptions are. Maybe I am actually a person that just can't be understood and needs to be by themselves most of the time. Which my gut feeling says yes, but it's all worth exploring, don't you think? So I would encourage everybody to really just open your mind a little bit and think to yourself, am I really just being addicted to how I was described on the internet? Maybe it became a part of who I am. Maybe I just accepted and embraced a description that I found on the internet, a description that I found in MBTI, because it makes things a little bit easier. That someone has told me who I am rather than deciding who I want to be. Because we all can become who we want to be. The only issue that arises with that is, are we happy with who we are? As long as you're happy with who you are, then there's no arguments to be made, I believe. I feel like this whole video, I've been trying to sound a little bit smarter than I actually am. So I apologize if I'm confusing anybody with poor word choices. But then again, don't apologize for who you are and what you do. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this gives you some food for thought. I've always been confused about that idiom. Food for thought, like what? Food for thought, like what? You have to feed your thoughts now. I'm having trouble feeding myself like physically with food. Now I have to feed my thoughts with food. Like how many groceries, how many eggs do I have to buy now? Okay, that's enough for my miniature rant. Thank you so much for watching this video, Cliffasaurs. I hope you have a good weekend. Thank you for checking in with me. I'll catch you in the next video.